You're looking live at Three's Company Radio Show, and I'm here tonight with Bonnie Scalisi.
Hi, everybody.
My name's Mandy Jones. We are stand-up comedians, and we're missing a third fatso who's supposed to be here with us tonight. His name's Tony Landolfi. He's the third part of Three's Company.
I believe he's in a show tonight.
He made up some sort of bullshit excuse, which I didn't listen to very well, but he's not with us tonight. We have one guest with us tonight. I'm not going to tell you too much about him, but he's super interesting, and we are excited to have a whole hour with him, especially without Tony here interrupting us about, fingers metal shop talk.
And telling us we're unprofessional.
Telling us we're unprofessional.
That's all right.
We're very professional. So let's get into it. Put up, shut up, or stand up.
Yes. I watched you on last Saturday. If I was a nail biter, I would have no nails left. It was so freaking close.
It was a teeth
I was
clencher.
trying to keep score, and I'm very bad at math. But it was so close.
I thought I lost when they were sitting there deliberating. I thought I lost because I am that much of an idiot. But I lost. I won by 1/10 of a point against my good friend Andy Plagino. So it was the final 4. Now it's the final 3. And now this weekend it's Bonnie versus Kristen Tinsley to see who's going to the championship round.
Oh, yeah, I know. So I've been practicing because Kristen's a good friend of mine, but she's really good at like just making stuff up on the fly, and I'm not. So I'm trying to be more prepared than just blank out and.
Yeah. Well, that's the comforting thing about this competition is it's all about how well you write your jokes and how well you prepare. So they let you use notes and that kind of thing. So it definitely feels comforting when you're up there and you have notes to look at.
Right, and it definitely makes a big difference. But if I win, then I get to verse Mandy.
Well, when you win, we love you, Kristen. But when Bonnie wins, it's gonna be me and Bonnie. So they're gonna have to put in like a pillow fight round or something because to heighten the stakes. And the winner gets a paid spot, actually, on the main stage.
Yes.
So this is the first season that they're doing this show, and we're super pumped to be, part of it.
And I don't know if you know this, but you're already set. I'm the question mark. But the judge for the last show is going to be Jackie the Joke Man Martling.
Ooh.
He's one of the judges. So that's very interesting.
All right. Yeah. So that's the thing. They have judges who are other comedians who know how to write jokes. So they give you critique. So actually I feel like I've gotten critique every time, and it's actually helped me throughout the rounds.
Oh, definitely. And, I noticed they didn't do one round with you guys, though. Is that because they went off the air for a little bit? The premises round.
No, they had taken that out. So they said
they're not going to have that when I go?
So, yeah, they must not
I hate that round.
Yeah, they randomly yell words at you, and you just have to react and be funny. And it's super difficult with a room full of, 5 people. We're not even standing up. We're stand-up comics, and we're not even standing up. And then we're just... you just try to react and be funny, and it's definitely hard. It's definitely a hard competition. So we're looking forward to Saturday to see who's coming to the championships.
Oh, yeah. It's really anybody's game. Kristen's really amazing. So, and we're good friends. So I'll be happy for her if she wins. So we were gonna also talk about Terry McNeely.
Oh yes, we can't forget Terry McNeely. The 28th. February 28th in the Little Room. That's a Friday. It's all over my page. It's all over Bonnie's page. Go to govs.com, govs.com for tickets. It's called Terry's Laughs in the Little Room. He does it every month. And I'm actually excited because the host and I think one other comic on the bill I've never met before.
Me too.
So that's always exciting to see comics you've never seen before.
Yep.
And for all my friends and family that are going to come support me, I'm turning 30 this month. Please, as a consolation prize, buy a ticket and come see me perform. You get to see new comics.
Yeah. And he just, you're probably on that show, but he just messaged me about being on his birthday show in April.
Yes,
So we're going to be on Terry McNeely's show again.
And that's been in the works because Terry and my husband actually share the same birthday, which makes sense why they're both complete raging maniacs and similar in a lot of ways. But so they're April 20th is their birthday. So the 24th, which is a Friday, it'll be Terry's birthday show in the little room here.
So since Tony's not here, I'm going to do a couple of shout-outs of people who are listening
thank
and
God for the shout-outs.
So we have Benny Rositi, who plays the Gagoots in that show that
Benny,
we do.
we love you.
Benny. Robin DeVito, who is a friend of ours and a Street Fighter watcher and, a fellow
I
follower.
think
I love
she already
Street
got
Fighter.
her tickets to Terry's show, she said. Or she's going, she said. So that's going to be awesome.
And Heather is...
Heather is going to be on the listener appreciation episode.
Absolutely.
The first week of March, we're going to have Heather, Jen, I'm going to butcher her last name, Jen from Coasters.
Jennifer Lentini,
and Michelle Asta, who are three listeners, three very different walks of life, and they're going to come on and share their story, tell us how they found us and why they continue to watch this insane little show we have going on here.
And Bill Hansen, hello. Johnny McDonald is watching. How are you, Johnny? Gina Conjemi Coffin, who's in charge of the show, is watching.
Gina, thanks for reminding me. Teespring.com, TEE Spring, SPRING.com. That's where you get all your Govs merch. You just go to their little search function when you go to their website, and you could put in either Three's Company radio show or you just put in Govs Radio, and you could see stuff from Knock 'em Dead. You could buy stuff for Limo Talk, or you could buy the shit that Taj drew up for us, the characters of Bonnie, Tony, and myself.
And wait, there's a lot more. I'm going. My boyfriend is watching, Michael Steven Spielberg.
Oh, sorry to interrupt the shout outs.
Kathy Abe Kateris, that's somebody new. And she said she loves watching. Well, we love having you, Kathy.
Yes.
Welcome. Just if you can, type in or call in how you found out about us. Ann Farrell Guth is watching.
Ann Farrell, did you get those pretzels mailed to your house in Ohio yet?
Will Romero, he's a good friend of mine. He has this funny bit about cheese. We have to have him on the show.
Oh, well, Romero is great. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
and Heather said she's getting ready for her guest spot on the show on March 4th. She's all excited.
Heather, I'm getting my guest room ready for you.
John Libertetti is watching. So, John, again, tell us, you're a new listener. Tell us how you found out about us. Heather Learman is watching. I'm just going to say something quickly about something that we're doing together in a minute. She says, hi, ladies. And Sal, wow, I'm sorry. That's a really long last name. Scandalario. He said, hi, ladies, first-timer from Toronto.
Ooh, welcome.
Ooh, that's awesome. Welcome.
Canada, eh?
Yeah. Let's see.
Thanks,
Mike. Adam Snare. Do you know Adam?
I do know Adam Snare. And actually, Adam Snare, you're going to be on the show at some point because I saw his act at Butera's event, and I laughed my ass off, and I'm like, you got to come on the show because
I think another person
funny.
from Canada is watching. I actually... Quinn C. Martin is, I believe, from Canada also, and he was a Knock 'em Dead fan like me, so that's how we know each other. Gina's saying, thanks, Mandy, for talking about the
Thank you,
thing.
Gina.
And Will goes, she ate all the cheese, but we'll get into that at another time. Jessica Sorrell is watching. She's a new listener, so welcome, Jessica. And I wanted to say Heather Learman, who's I'm butchering her last name. I always fuck it up. I'm sorry. Heather Learman. Heather, you'll tell me how to say your name correctly. But Donna and I are going to be guests on Heather's show. She has a show called Hanging Out with Heather, and we're going to talk about women in comedy. So I'm a woman, and I'm in comedy, so I'm going to talk about that.
Nice.
And things you don't know about us. And it's going to premiere on YouTube Friday, February 21st. The link will be available on all of our social media pages, so make sure you subscribe to Hanging Out with Heather's on the YouTube page. Nice. So, Heather, if I screwed any of that up, you'll call in, and in a little bit, you'll call in and tell us
how bad
But
we did.
I just wanted to say to Mandy, Valentine's Day is coming up, so I got you a little present.
Oh, you didn't have to do that,
So,
Bonnie.
you know I love you, so I'm going
Aw,
to give this to you.
can I give you a kiss?
Oh, definitely.
You know what? Fuck this. We gonna call her?
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, oh, ah, oh, that was good. That was really good. Oh, Tony,
my God.
I'm so sorry.
Oh
that
my
was
God,
so
that was
unprofessional
really-
of us.
I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
We can. When it's us alone, we can't keep our hands to
Somebody's
ourselves.
calling. They can't. But I almost lost my concentration. But who's calling?
It's Heather.
Heather. Hi. Did I screwed up your
I
name?
almost lost my concentration, but I didn't because Mandy is that good.
That's right. Mandy knows what she's doing. So Heather, how do you say your last name? I know I messed
I
it
was
up.
I was screaming at your page. She's like, Learman. I'm like, Learman. I told her last night, think of hair and say Lair. Learman.
like you'd go into a dungeon, a lair.
Yeah, Learman.
A Learman.
She always says it wrong.
I always mess it up. And
So-
even the Street Fighter, he gave me guitar lessons when I was like 9, and I still mispronounce his name. His name is Soleil. I call him Robert Soul every time I introduce him.
He's like the biggest supporter of the show,
Yeah,
too.
I love him, and I can't say his name correctly. So I apologize, Heather.
It's okay.
Lehrman.
It's okay. I called Bonnie Beanie at Coasters last night. I said, every time you say that, I'll just call you Beanie. That's all.
Okay,
Instead
that's
of Bonnie.
fine.
But anyway, Bonnie and Donna Moran are going to be guests on my show, Hanging Out with Heather, next week, and it'll be on YouTube, premiering on Friday. We're going to tape it on Tuesday. I'll do all the
at
editing.
the Glen Cove
and everything.
Mansion.
And it's in a suite at the Glen Cove Mansion. Don Silva's on the show. You could ask him about it. He was like, this is awesome.
Cool.
And I know you know the mansion, Bonnie. It's a cool, cool place.
Yeah, my boyfriend lives like almost around the block from there.
So we're going to talk about not just women in comedy and why you decided to go into comedy, but other topics, too, that we want to get into and things that people don't know about you, Bonnie, that will be surprising.
I'm pretty open.
I know,
I think
she's an
everybody
open
knows
book, but
everything
I'm
about me.
interested in what kind of crevices you're going to get into.
Yeah, we want to know what people don't know about you.
All right, I'll have to
You'd
think
be
about
very
that.
surprised that you'll come up with some quirky, weird things and make it fun and interesting, not like, oh, I knit on the side,
I definitely don't knit.
I'm nerdy and I just plant and knit. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear funny, fun, interesting tidbits.
All right. All
Do they
right.
have
Well,
to be-
do me a favor, Heather. Will you message me the link to your show so I could share it on our group page?
Yes, tell everyone to subscribe to Hanging Out with Heather on YouTube. It's my channel, Hanging Out with Heather. It's just free to subscribe. You just click subscribe and you can see all my shows.
And I'm sorry, Bonnie, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say Barbara McNeely is watching.
Oh,
Terry's mom. Hi, Barbara.
Barbara, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a bet going with your son. I really want to know his middle name, but I want to win the bet, honestly. So I'm not going to ask you his middle name, but I'm going to try to find out.
Messenger.
Just messages me.
What's the first name? I'm good at that.
His first name is Terrence. His last name McNeely.
You know,
Terry-
I want
Terry
to
McNeely?
say Howard, but that's just because Terrence Howard is an actor.
All right, Heather. But like I said,
Yeah.
definitely message me the link you want everyone to go to, and we will share it on our page. And thank you for calling in.
Okay.
Yes,
Have a
Heather.
great show,
I'll see
ladies.
Thank you. You too.
right, bye.
Bye.
All right, I think we've been keeping our guest waiting long
I
enough.
think so too.
So I'm going to introduce him. He has a lot of interesting things, even in his introduction. So I'm really excited to talk to him. I know him from other places, but John LaRocchia is a stand-up comic. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Very few people do.
For 28 years, he's a retired New York City fireman. Was 21 years on the job. The last 2 in the elite FDNY hazardous materials unit. I'm sorry, the last 11.
11.
11, not 2.
You were doing Roman numerals.
I was doing Roman numerals.
You were doing Roman numerals because you were under the desk and you got all flustered.
That's right. I'm still
I
recovering
threw her
from
off.
that.
Yes.
I threw her game
I
off.
got flustered myself.
He also is a national instructor for Homeland Security and president and founder of Laughter Saves Lives. John LaRocchia.
Woo!
Thank you.
Welcome,
Beautiful
John.
introduction. Thank you for having
Welcome.
me,
Oh my
guys.
God! Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
I had it on my calendar for weeks, right?
yeah,
For
yeah.
weeks. And
yeah.
I looked at the other day, they go, they didn't call me. I wonder if I'm still on.
Oh no, this is like a ticket. You just show up. Once you get the
I'm-
date, there's no follow
Well-
up. We're not going to remind you of the date.
Let me just give you the presents I brought. Let's get the.
Oh,
my
wow.
presents.
and I have a
I
present
I brought
for
you
you.
both a Laughter Saves Lives
Oh,
t-shirt.
awesome.
Now, I grabbed 2. I'm so lazy. I grabbed 1 medium and 1 small, and I was going to go back, and I'm lazy. So you guys got to decide.
I'm a medium.
Okay.
You want medium?
All right.
All
I was
right.
going to say I'll take whatever one
You're
you don't
smaller
want.
than me.
Okay.
You're
All right,
smaller
and this,
than me.
just to hold up the shirt, those are my guys that
It's
were lost in
gorgeous.
hazmat on 9/11 in the steps.
Oh.
This is Dennis Carey from Wanto. He used to install cornices on buildings, so I put him in the cornice, and that was my best friend Tommy Gardner from Oceanside, who used to write jokes for me. He was a page actually at NBC years ago.
Thank you.
Wrote
Wow.
jokes for
This is
and my
awesome.
first radio show. He was the co-host.
Wow.
WGBB in Freeport.
That's amazing. Thank you
Yes.
so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Wait, I got
you
more, I
so
got more.
much. Oh my God.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Yes,
This is
see,
more than my
very
ex-husband used to get
Oh
from
my
me.
goodness.
And-
Thank you.
and I got
That
you
was
just a
very
little-
sweet of you.
Oh,
John.
I'm
And I,
just
and
so
I got
sweet.
You
this
did
for
not have to do
You
that.
did?
Yes.
Oh, and I got hearts for you guys.
Oh my God, thank
come on,
you.
look at this.
Oh, I'm too
Thank
much.
you.
She's too much.
Look at
So nice,
him.
thank
That
you.
is very sweet.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for
Highly
having me.
unnecessary.
So you have a television show. I know because I was on it
big,
twice.
yes. We have viewers, 12. Yes, we have a big show. Big show.
where's your
Can I say the station?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're over at, gotta remember the station, Paradise Studios, Strong Island TV. We've been doing it 2 years. And you know everybody we have on it. It's the way I look at it is it's interesting guests with a comedy slant, no politics.
Oh.
Because there's enough politics out there, and I'm not an expert in politics. I want people to tune in and go, we're going to laugh a little bit, we're going to learn something.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
know?
much our mission statement too. Pretty
Laugh.
much.
Yeah, I texted our show as a sexy talk show.
Yes.
You know,
I think all your guests should come up from underneath the desk. Like you
a
go,
good
ooh,
idea.
who's down there? Like maybe you guess first. Oh, who's
That's
down
funny.
there? Hey, it's John LaRocchia.
John
Just a
Piazza
suggestion.
just tuned in.
Just a
John
suggestion.
Piazza.
Hi, John.
So
Hi, John.
let's tell the listeners about Laughter Saves Lives.
Yes.
My passion makes my family crazy because my daughter went in my wallet the other day and she goes, Dad, all you have is Laughter Saves Lives business cards in there. There's no money. There's no money. Obviously, it's my passion. It's my therapy. All right.
Yes.
After losing 19 guys on 9/11 in my firehouse, how do you deal with that?
Wow.
You can't. You can't. And people go, well, how did you get through it? I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. But I'm able to do some good as a way to remember my guys who always made me laugh.
There
They
you
made
go.
me laugh.
Okay.
We went to funerals. We went to memorials. We cried. And at one point I said, you know, we need to laugh again.
Yeah.
And that's what they would have wanted. They
Yep.
made me laugh.
Yep.
People would come in the firehouse and go, you're the comic? Like,
Yeah.
because all my guys were so funny.
Yeah.
You know, so I started the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation and Comedy Tour as a way to remember them. We do shows. We do shows in memory of them for different charities. Doesn't
Okay.
matter what the charity
Okay.
is. Tonight we're going to laugh in memory of my guys. We don't beat them over the head with 9/11, but I let them know this is in memory of my guys. You're going to laugh.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of our shows have heart. It's more than comedy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
there's a different feeling in the room, and then we put some of the money in Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, depending on the show. Like if we're doing a fundraiser for somebody else, I ask them, "Can I sell my shirts?"
Yeah.
And that money will go. Or would you make a donation at the end of the night?
Okay.
And we use that money to help cops, firemen, military who are struggling due to a tragedy, who are not in the spotlight. It's not something on the news. And we do the free comedy shows at the veterans hospitals. And we just added the retirement home for New York State volunteer firefighters up in Hudson, New York.
And you had me in a show for autism.
Well, like I said, we do different shows for different organizations also, but those are our regular benefits that we do.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. What
And I'd like to have you both at the Veterans Hospital. Have you been there yet?
No.
I love having the women there. Some of them are World War II vets.
Oh, cool.
Okay, and we bring fruit, for them. And one lady who was bringing the fruit said to me, "John, thank you so much for inviting me. I think they had a good time." And I said, "Why would you say that?" She goes, "Well, I was wheeling some guy back, and I said to him, he was a World War II vet, and I said, 'Excuse me, did you have a good time?' And he said, 'Nice ass.'" So she goes, he made my day.
That's hilarious.
96 years old. Nice ass.
Benny Rositi is saying, "Hi, John.
Oh,
Hugs."
I wanted to mention Benny because you said his name.
Yeah.
Benny was the one that got me started on my show. He was the one that got me in.
Oh, yeah, because he has the show right before you.
Well, he did. And I just wanted to say, one of the nicest guys around. And thank you, Benny, for
love
doing
Benny.
that.
And his wife.
Yes, good people. Yes, and his wife.
Yes,
Good
yes.
people. She's helped me at different fundraisers also. So thank you, Benny. I'm glad you're watching. I hope you're well.
Yeah. Bruno is tuned in.
Bruno. There's always a Bruno.
Robert, wait, I'm going to get it right. Robert Soleil is watching.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's from Street
Episode
Fighter.
number 37, and we finally,
got
it right.
because I
do the
butchered
same
Heather's
thing.
name.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, but you just invited me to something that was amazing, so I want you to talk about that.
What
Was
was
a
that?
gala.
Oh,
Please tell everybody about
yes.
that.
Well, every year I do a fundraiser just for Laughter Saves Lives.
Okay.
This is the money goes all to Laughter Saves Lives, and we call it it's in memory of my mom. My mom, we did a show at the brokerage years ago, and I heard my mom laughing in the back. I always could hear her laughing, no matter how much the audience was laughing. I always heard my mom.
Yeah.
And I loved my mom. She was the best. The best. Simple lady, never needed to be in the spotlight like her son, So we do the Virginia LaRocchia Laughter Saves Lives almost gala because we're not too snooty.
Okay.
So it's not a gala.
Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
almost a
It
gala.
was so successful.
It was a
amazing.
good night. We try to keep our ticket prices for the blue collar people.
Okay.
I don't want to do a $150 event.
Right.
So I think I gave away a lot of half price tickets. I think they were like $65 with dinner.
That's not bad.
No,
for a
and
night
it's a fundraiser.
out. For a
And
night
you had
out,
Les-
that's not bad at all.
And
Les
Les
Deegan
Deegan was
crooning.
singing Frank Sinatra tunes.
Yes.
Like as we
that's
came
fun.
in,
That's
that
a lot
he has
of
an
fun.
amazing voice.
It was a fun
It's
night.
like, yeah.
And we've had on those nights Amy Freeze from Channel 2. We've had Joe Piscopo. And Joe's a good friend of the foundation. I've been on his radio show probably 4 or 5 times down near Wall Street. He's a really good friend of Laughter Saves Lives.
Yeah, Barbara McNeely was saying that her dad is a World War II vet.
Where is he?
Barbara, could you
still,
type in?
hopefully still alive?
Is he still alive? Or
I think so because I thought
yeah. We saw
Harry
a
had a post the other
that
day.
he turned
Yeah.
100, I think.
Where is he
92.
living?
Or 92.
Because we're looking to
Didn't you
expand the
just say 92?
program
I
to
don't
other
know.
hospitals and retirement homes.
No, I'm hallucinating.
Yeah.
Who do you know in Engine 286?
This is actually when I was a kid. My 3 of my uncles are retired New York City firefighters,
Oh,
and
wow.
this is my one uncle. When I was a kid, I went to like their Christmas party there,
Yeah.
and like went down the
I used to play
pole
Santa
and
at the
everything.
Christmas parties.
Oh, okay.
And which was fun about that is you can say things that go over the kids' heads.
Yep.
And hit the fire. Like I was
Yeah.
making fun of everybody in the
Yeah.
house.
Yep.
And the kids weren't getting it, but the wives were rolling on the floor.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
So I know the two of us were talking about it ahead of time, that you have kids and
Yeah.
and how they keep us very busy.
Very busy, and my grandson, as you know, if you followed me on Facebook,
Oh, he's
from
so
when he was
cute.
born, you know what I was thinking this today. I used to do little things with him, like kiss. I had a whole thing with Kiss the Baby. I don't know if you remember that, where I'd walk in the house and he'd be there like as a peanut, 1 year old,
Yeah.
and I'd say, it's Johnny Plug. We call him a Johnny Plug. It's a Johnny Plug. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I think I have to go to the store. I go to get CVS, and and he would get all excited. I'm going to kiss that little smelly baby. I'm coming at you, baby. And he would get all excited. But what's amazing is these kids today are going to have those things in the cloud when they
Forever,
get older.
yes.
So when I'm dead and gone, he'll still be able to look back and go, that was my grandpa.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the times we had, even today. And I always think that my guys who are lost are never going to have these experiences, grandkids, weddings for their kids. I was driving and I go, oh, shoot, he gets out of school in 5 minutes. I'm going to go and just watch him run on the grass.
Yeah.
And I showed up and Just hung out with him for a few minutes, took him for pizza with his auntie, and went home.
Yep.
It's cool.
Guess who's tuning in now?
Oh, no.
Pat Marone.
Oh, no.
We were just talking about reading
Retirement
comments.
homes.
That's a problem.
Hi, Pat.
So I think that's so cool that, our kids are going to have those memories.
The only thing I remember, I mean, my parents were ahead of the time because they had the old fashioned.
Should we say?
Who is it?
Probably
well,
Pat.
we don't know. It's why
probably Pat.
it's their number's not showing. Let's see, and then
Yeah,
we'll go back
let's
to
see.
your
Let's take a
childhood
shot.
memory.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
Hello, Mandy. Hello, Bonnie.
Oh, Dennis.
Hi,
I'm
Dennis.
sorry.
How are
You
you?
Hi,
got
Dennis.
Guys,
You got a joke?
Dennis, guys, come on.
You have a joke?
It's DJ G Love.
Nope. I love you, Dennis.
Oh, that was a
We
Dennis
love
guy.
you.
That was
Yeah.
the Dennis guy you were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Dennis.
I taught him start 2-7 or whatever.
Barbara
Start
McNeely was
6-9.
Barbara McNeely was saying that her dad was 99.
Okay.
He lives with her sister, and Terry attributes his comedic sense to her dad and her husband. Okay, so that's where Terry gets
Well,
it
you're
from.
hilarious from what
Nancy-
you post, Barbara.
Yeah,
So
Barbara, you're
I
pretty
think
funny, too.
he's got some of I think he's getting some of his material from you.
And Benny's wife, Nancy, I don't mean to overshadow you. She says hello.
Hello,
Tell him
Nancy.
Nancy says hello and sends her love.
She's
And
the
Taz
best.
is watching. We love Taz.
Taz did the art for our show.
She's always doing great things with her art. It's amazing. Is that still Dennis?
Well,
Yeah.
you mentioned about stand-up comedy and where you get your sense of humor. My family grew up in Middle Village, Queens,
Okay.
and we had a luncheonette. My grandfather, my father, my uncle.
Okay.
And that was my first exposure to stand-up comedy because the food was, my little Italian grandmother used to sit by the door. She'd make something different every day.
Okay.
They'd have the burgers and the sandwiches, but every day it was different things, spaghetti and meatballs, whatever she made.
Yeah.
And she would sit by the door, and people would come in, and she was like the old Italian, say, like you were saying before, say what you feel. Like she didn't
Yeah.
like somebody would be walking in, and she'd go, "Oh, Julie, you look fat today," And everybody just loved my grandma. But my father and my uncle and my grandpa would play jokes on their customers. So people loved just coming in because they didn't know what to expect.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure the food was okay.
Yeah, but you're buying the time.
But I think it was more the sanitation trucks would line up on Metropolitan Avenue and come in and the kids would come after school with the egg creams and they'd line up. Do you guys have had an egg cream?
No.
No. All right, I'm gonna have to get you an authentic egg cream because that
we'll
was.
give this stuff back, and you can.
No,
bring us
you're
ice
gonna give it
cream.
back. You're
And
not
you
gonna give it
bring-
back.
And you can bring us ice cream.
No. So yes, that
That's
was
an
my
Italian dessert, I'm guessing.
first. No, an egg cream doesn't have eggs in it.
Okay.
It's
Number
like
one.
a drugstore
It's seltzer
thing, right?
and vanilla or chocolate. You with the adding
like
the
a
thing so it
float?
fizzles it up. It's like a very light float. There's no
Okay.
ice cream in it. But back in the day, that's what kids would line up after school for an egg cream.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Where would they have an egg cream now?
you'd have to find an old school luncheonette. They do have them in bottles, like sometimes you can find like a soda, but it's not the same. You've got to have that fizz out of the thing.
Yeah.
But there are a few old school luncheonettes around. I think you could find them.
Like Woolworths used to have stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eddie Sweet Shop. They used to, the old Michael Jackson commercial was there, I think. Eddie Sweet Shop on Metropolitan Avenue, Forest Hills. Yeah.
I just love how all the listeners are talking to each other. I love that. That's what I like. Like
That's good.
somebody's saying, "Oh, they're going to Terry's thing," but someone else is saying, "But I can't make it." And they're like talking to each other. That's what I want this show to be about. Is our listeners are part of our family, and we all are sharing what's going on the screen and off the screen.
Very
And
nice.
Anthony Graz is
Anthony.
watching.
Anthony.
We love you, Graz, and I watched Graz on the big screen because we're now
He
in
always looks big
boxcar.
on the
He was in a
screen.
movie? He was
No,
in a
no,
movie?
no. Gov's Radio is now on Boxcast.
Yeah.
It's like a
Gina,
Rugu stick
tell us
thing.
what we're supposed to say.
Gina, I don't know how to. I'm
They don't
technologically.
tell us anything, but
I'm
we're
a-
supposed to be. We're expanding, guys.
And
We're blowing up.
And my friend Dana is watching.
Hello, Dana.
I got a question for you, John.
Thank you.
Other than 9/11,
Yes.
well, or maybe it could be part of 9/11.
Yes.
But what is the scariest moment you've ever had as a firefighter?
That's a great question. I want to start by saying, if you meet a firefighter that says he's not afraid to go into a fire, That's scary because if you don't have a fear of something that can kill
I
you,
hate fire.
right? Well,
afraid of fire.
I was afraid of heights. Not too brave. Not too good with smoke. Took the fireman's test.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine said you should take. I took it. I never thought I'd be a fireman. Two things happened to me that were kind of scary that I can remember. Let's say three. One time I pulled somebody out. I crawled in, it was smoky, pulled somebody out, handed him off, went back in to look for people, came out, and the guy that I pulled out had a knife in his hand that I didn't notice, but he was unconscious. And I think he was trying to either kill himself or if somebody came in
Oh my God.
to try to get him out, stab them. So I didn't see the knife because it was smoky. Then there was another time where I climbed on a roof up a ladder. I was a young firefighter. No, I was never a young firefighter, a new firefighter. Climbed up on the ladder, went on the roof. And they tell you when you get on the roof, take your hook and hit the roof to make sure it's still there if you can't see, if there's a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
So I took my hook. Oh, there's a roof there. I had the saw over me. You carry a lot of freaking stuff up that ladder.
Yeah.
I had the saw, stepped on the roof, and didn't put on my Facebook yet, and fell. And I couldn't get my Facebook on, and I felt myself starting to get overcome with the smoke.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God, there's nobody around. Well, the chauffeur realized that I was new, and he climbed the ladder just to make sure I was okay.
Wow.
Thank God.
Oh my God.
And he goes, probably take it easy, put on your Facebook, put it. And I put it on. And then the one other time was really didn't happen to me. Pulled into we pulled up to a shoe store on I think it was 42nd Street. Nah, it couldn't have been 40, whatever it was, one of those big streets. And we walked in and we said to the guy, "What's going on?" He goes, "I got a lot of shoes, boxes, and there's something smoldering down there. You know, something's on fire." So the lieutenant, who was a senior guy, what we call salty. They're salty. They're old. They've, been around. And so we said to the two of us, "Hey, you guys stay up here. I'm just going to go check it out."
Yeah.
So he went down the stairs, and I'm looking at the other guy, and it's like 30 seconds, a minute and a half. And I look at Bobby, and I go, "We got to go down." So we throw on our Facebook. We just start to go down. He comes barreling up the stairs, knocks us over, totally disoriented. We grab him and pull him out of the store. He busted my balls till that day because I was the junior firefighter.
Yeah.
After that, I got a whole new respect from him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but that was kind of scary because it was a senior lieutenant that it happened to.
Right.
It's going to happen to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I got one more.
Yeah, good.
We were, this was 42nd Street. It was a store, some kind of fire. Now, when the fire, they say it's smoldering, fire's out.
Right.
Then the guys start talking and kidding around,
We did our job.
Yeah, and, overhauling, pulling the ceiling. And all of a sudden, like a missile was shot into the building. An explosion. Firemen laying all over the street. And I'm driving the big chief that day. I was detailed to drive him. They had nobody to drive him. I get on the radio and I'm going, "Send me another rescue. Make a second alarm." People that were listening to me said they didn't recognize my voice.
Yeah.
And what happened was there was a gas leak in the basement, and all of a sudden it ignited. And the guys in the basement said they didn't even hear an explosion. All they saw was this orange flash.
Yeah.
And the guys on the stairs got blown up to the second floor. And I ended up laying under the truck just because I heard the explosion. I rolled under a truck. From that day, even to this day, if somebody slams a car door or something, I get twitchy.
Wow.
I have like a little,
Wait,
that was kind of scary.
Pat Marone has just said two things that I want to tell you. Earlier on, he said boring guest.
Yes, thank you,
And
Pat.
right now, he says, "I'm falling asleep with these stories."
All right, let's talk about food.
tell you
So
the
Pat
truth,
stays.
Pat falls asleep with anything, so,
No, but what I was going to say is I was just having a conversation with a Facebook friend. We know each other so well that I've never met him, but I feel like I know him really well. His name is Jim Hopkins. And he was a Detroit police lieutenant. And we were just talking, and we were talking about how the public thinks that, like, movie stars are such great heroes, even comedians, but the real heroes are the police officers, the fire department
you
people.
have to-
That's a real hero.
You have to know.
The public
what
doesn't,
the,
just the attention.
They can't, though. They can't unless you walk in their shoes. Even Border Patrol. I'm teaching now Border Patrol and Customs. What those guys do on the border is amazing. Are they running through like brush in the middle of the night after somebody? They don't know if he has a gun or whatever. But I was just talking to my wife about this with what we do in high-rise buildings now. We train people that, hey, if somebody comes in with a gun, this is what we're training the average citizen now. You need to run. You need to hide or fight. If there's nothing else, you need to fight. And they're offering a training with one of the companies I teach with. They do a whole thing in a school. Teach you what happens if somebody comes in with a gun.
Oh, I had to do that as a teacher, yeah.
But check this out. I don't know if they did this with you. They did the whole thing, teaching them. It's a whole day course. And they go, all right, guys, you did good or whatever. And then somebody comes in with a gun and starts shooting in the classroom. And the instructor runs out. And now they have to put it into play what they were taught all day.
Oh, my God. No, that didn't happen.
And to hear a gun indoors, we've never heard that. It is shocking. It is loud. And they said it's amazing what the people will do. This really chubby guy, they said he ran so fast out of that building. Somebody else hid in the smallest space. They were throwing things against the door to barricade themselves. It was amazing, he said. It's amazing.
The only thing I had to do was we would do drills with the children.
Right.
So I had 28 5-year-olds, and we would the alarm would go off, which meant a stranger was in the building.
Oh, for 5-year-olds, so scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then we had to turn off the lights, lock the door, and then they all had hid by the closet, and they weren't allowed to make a sound. And people actually went through the hallway and pretended like they were the bad guy trying to get in. And then after, I the kids were always really good because I pretended it was a game. I'm like, it's the quiet game, but they're pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
So there would always be one like quietly sobbing, and I'm like, how sad is it that this 5-year-old has to, be taught
and
at
I would
5
think
years
some of them
old?
are going to have nightmares on that.
Yeah.
And you know what's the problem with, because I did a little training, I'm not doing anymore in Manhattan at the high-rise buildings. These days, there's nowhere to hide. Everything is glass offices.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, to make it look open and feel
Yes,
spacious.
or open even without an office. But even the offices are glass.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of scary.
Yeah, and Stephen Perillo does a joke. Oh, no, it's Travis Grant. Is that it?
Yeah,
Travis Grant does a joke about how when he was in high school, they would do these drills and hide. And he makes a joke like, they shoved the most unpopular kid in the front and like, they can't get all of us, so they shoved one of them in the front.
Yeah, you get in front.
So Andrew is asking about he's just listening in, but somebody was saying, good evening, where's Tony? Billy.
I'm
Billy
Tony. I'm Tony. I've been on a diet all week.
I know, yeah, and doesn't have bronchitis. And this is
Tony, feel better.
He's saying he still loves the show, even though Tony
Tony
isn't on there. Thank you, Billy. He'll be back next week.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, I mean, I always hated fire from when my mother, when I was younger, my mother was a teacher at a handicapped school. Mm-hmm. So she brought me to her job a couple of times. And in the class, there was this one kid that had been in a fire. And now I found out after that he was playing with matches in the car, and the car went on fire. So this kid had complete burns all over his entire body. And after several surgeries, he still looked very, very scary. And ever since I saw that kid, I think I was like maybe 7 years old, I was deathly afraid of fire. I made my mom buy me one of those ladders that... Because I was on the second floor.
I kids, your second floor, you can jump. They're like, Dad, what are you talking about? Get me one of those ladders. I go, you'll jump. You'll break a leg. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. They bought me the ladder. I didn't sleep for like a long time.
Yeah.
And so to be a fireman, I give you a lot of credit. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's scary. God bless those. If you go to the park with soccer, basketball, half of those people coaching, I find, are cops or firemen. They're very generous. And these camps, these burn camps that they have for these kids to go away for a few weeks to be around kids that look like them, that have gone through the experience. Because they go to a regular camp and they feel, like they stand out.
Right.
They do amazing work at those camps. Amazing work.
Back then, I always think to myself, because everybody's much more knowledgeable and accepting of things today. But like when I was younger, when you were younger, people were rude and mean. And I just thought, like, this poor kid has to walk around. I mean, in the school, everybody knew who he was. But I was just imagining him going to a supermarket, or people, like, stare and they yell things out. Now they don't do that. I mean, some do, but most people are
When I was younger, Mandy wasn't around. When I was younger.
Yeah, Pat.
I'm old.
Pat was saying.
I'm old.
Pat was saying to be more funny. Barbara McNeely.
Pat looks older than me, but I'm older.
So you said you didn't like grow up and want to be a fireman?
No. I never thought about being a fireman. A friend of mine, Jeannie, said to me, "Why don't you take the fireman's test? You're physical, you love people.
You like drinking."
To tell you the truth, I'm the only New York City fireman out of 11,000 that doesn't drink beer or coffee.
Really?
believe
I
that?
just made a total stereotypical
You did.
judgment of you.
You did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But it is a big thing in the fireman community.
They like their beer.
Yeah.
They're known for liking their beer, yes.
But I guess it's because it's that home family feeling.
It is.
You're
because,
playing cards and you're
But
cooking for each other.
And you need your house painted. You'll have 10 guys there. Just buy them some pizza and have beer, and it's a wonderful community. That it's probably one of the greatest things. Definitely one of the greatest things I ever did, other than my family. You know.
I was also watching, because you talked about 9/11 and being a fireman. I watched that movie. You must have watched it with Nicholas.
Yeah, I try not to watch too many of the movies. You know,
It was about the Port Authority police, but of course it had to do with the firemen too, and how they all dealt with 9/11, and it was just an amazing movie. I don't remember what it's called.
I know the movie you're talking about.
It was just, I just was like, after I saw it, you felt like you were there.
Yes.
You know, that's how well they did it.
Well, I just taught a class last week in Jersey City, Office of Emergency Management, for the hazmat team of Jersey City Fire Department. Because I'm very smart, Mandy.
Okay.
Can you tell?
Yeah, I can. And well, teach. Tell me, what are you teaching?
I teach all around the country, and people say to me after class, "Oh my God, I learned so much. You're so smart," and I'm home 10 minutes, and I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. In the house, 10 minutes. My kids are like, "You're an idiot. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that." So it's.
We understand that.
You know, to be brought down. I teach hazmat teams some meters that they use.
Okay.
I teach a course called Public Safety Sampling, which teaches somebody, hey, somebody comes in here, they throw a device, we all get unconscious. We teach the hazmat team how to come in, meter up the room, protect themselves, then take the device and package it according to the FBI 12-step process so it can be used as evidence.
That's so cool.
So did you have to get some sort of certification from the FBI, or how did you get your information? Like, who gave you the training?
Well, I was just trained. You know, I had the hazmat background. I was a hazardous materials specialist at the FDNY.
Okay.
And I say specialist because, again, at home I'm an idiot. So on the road, at least I'm a specialist,
yeah,
right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I got that training, and then that morphed into teaching nationally for different organizations. I teach for a few.
And do you volunteer, or you get paid to do that?
I don't. No, I get paid. I got to pay the bills.
Okay, I was because that's
Olivia's in Binghamton. Didn't you hear what I said when I came in? Binghamton University, Buffalo. We got to pay for these things.
Well, you're an idiot, so I don't know.
I'm an idiot. You are right.
You could be volunteering your time.
You know what?
You run into burning buildings.
You bring up a good point, though, Mandy. We all do our volunteer stuff.
Yeah.
We all do it. But we also have to pay the bills.
Oh, absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
So when I started the foundation. Mandy, hopefully one day you'll come and do one of my shows, or you'll come and do the Veterans Hospital. I will pay you out of the foundation, because here's my attitude. People are out there donating money to the foundation because they have money or they don't have the time. I'm bringing people out on a Sunday afternoon to go to the ass end of Queens to do a wonderful show.
Yeah.
They deserve to get a few bucks. I mean, I can't give you $500.
Yeah,
but
gas money to a comic.
Lunch,
that's all a comic really wants.
To me, it's the meaning behind the money. You know, it's the
Bonnie, you heard you. It's about the money.
No, it's not. It's the meaning behind the money.
You will leave that Veterans Hospital and go, I did a good thing today. This is so cool.
Exactly.
You know? It's so cool.
Somebody named D. Brian Hodger was saying, are you going to talk about Pete's sweaty balls? I don't know what that means.
That was the next topic. Here, Pete's sweaty balls.
Yeah, seriously. That was the next on the docket.
Right
and Jeff Bosey was saying,
hi, Jeff.
I heard that all firemen are good cooks. Is that true?
Good point. My family does not let me cook at home.
Really?
No, they don't think I'm a good cook. I would cook in the firehouse when the good cooks weren't working. So somebody had to step up and go, I'll cook.
Squad.
Yeah, I was. Somebody had to step up and go, I'll do it. And there's an expression in the firehouse, I'll clean it up a bit, because you have to step up to mess up.
Okay.
You know, people go, "Oh, you can't cook." Well, then you cook.
Right. Exactly.
I
Oh,
stepped
yeah.
up, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Right.
don't see you making anything better.
Right. My buddy Steve Oliva has a funny joke. You know Steve, don't you? He talks about the guy cooking in the firehouse, and Steve's always watching the cooking shows.
What's Steve's last name?
Oliva. Wonderful
Oh, yeah,
writer.
yeah.
And he says a joke. He says he's watching all the cooking shows, but he never cooks. And the guy says to him, "Hey, Steve, you're always watching the cooking shows, but you never cook." And Steve goes, "You're always watching the porno channel, but I never see you with a girl." That's kind of funny.
I just had to read this comment
Go
from
ahead.
this listener,
Okay.
Andrew Femder.
Hey, Andrew.
I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He said, after my house burned down and was completely leveled, I couldn't get my guitar. However, about a half hour after, a firefighter out of the rubble put his hand out with my guitar, walked over to me, handed it over, and said, "Rock on," and I looked up to the heavens and I started to cry.
Wow.
That is an
That is
amazing
beautiful.
story.
Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you for sharing
That's
that.
awesome. Hell
Nice.
yeah, man. Don't stop playing that guitar, obviously.
Yeah.
If God didn't destroy that thing.
That
There's
means
a
it
reason.
was meant for you to play that guitar.
That was cool. Thank you.
Cops and firemen, I find most of them, they have a different way of thinking. It's a different. I mean, look, Bruce Springsteen's son became a firefighter. I just taught in Jersey City. I didn't meet him. Became a firefighter.
Really?
Tell me, he needs to work.
Well,
Think
yeah,
about it.
but it's like
But he's
it's-
doing God's
it's
work.
the camaraderie and the
Yeah.
other thing that comes along with the job.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be something to. Because before I became a firefighter, I would find firefighters and go, "Do you like your job?" I'm thinking about taking. Do you like it? And nobody would ever say they like it. I love it.
Right.
I love it. When I worked in the city, I would come out of Penn Station, walk into work, and look at everybody else walking their head down to work, and I'm
Yeah.
looking out, "Hey, go to the
Yeah.
firehouse," you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
it was a great job. It was a
Yeah.
great job.
And when did you retire?
I retired in July 2008. And what I like is when I do comedy or I meet people, they go, "Are you still working?" I go, "Well, I still look good enough to be working. Thanks. I appreciate
They
that."
say that to me all the time.
Because I feel like,
know.
I don't think I could run into a burning building anymore with 100 pounds on my back. You know?
That's
If you
true.
had to, if that family
you
that
could.
calls you an idiot
I
that
would
said
do
you
it.
couldn't cook, you would
My-
run in with 200 pounds on
My
your back.
neighbor's house burnt down 2 years
And
ago.
you let it happen?
Well, I was there by myself.
I'm
We-
retired. What do
Yeah.
you fucking expect?
But that's what I always say. But my wife and my kids are looking at me because when the fire truck pulled up, I'm like stretching the hose and doing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They never saw me at a fire.
Oh, so that's
so they're
kind
like,
of cool.
the idiot is trying to help.
Oh.
Like, what is he doing? He doesn't know what
He
he's
needs
doing.
to mind his own business
Yeah.
is what he needs
Yeah,
to do.
get the idiot out of there.
Will Romero said, ask him if he ever comes across Jewish lighting,
Jewish lighting.
which
Can
I
you-
don't know.
Lightning, he means.
Lightning. What is Jewish lightning?
He,
That's-
he wrote lighting.
Well, he
But I don't-
means lightning.
Well, what does
it's,
that mean?
It's like arson for insurance money.
Oh, well. Shame on you, Will.
I know. Will, and you
He's a
call
friend
us
of mine.
racist.
He's always calling everyone racist.
Jew-
but
I never
was
heard
very
that expression.
racist.
You know,
I'm Jewish and I never heard that
Jewish
expression.
lightning,
I never heard
yeah,
that.
that's arson for.
you know what? Another thing I never heard
insurance
until a few
fraud.
weeks ago.
What's that?
An Irish goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
are you
that I've
kidding?
heard. I never
heard that.
Are you kidding?
I know.
No, I was
even
leaving
know that.
awake, and somebody said, "Come on, we'll do an Irish goodbye." I go, "What? What is that?"
Well, I learned what an Indian Irish goodbye is the
Uh-oh,
other
what's
day.
that?
That's when this is from an Indian guy telling me that your fan. They go, "I'm gonna do an Irish goodbye and say bye to everyone." Go, "I'm gonna do an Irish goodbye," and they're like, "No, you're not doing an Irish goodbye. You're announcing that
That's
you're
an
leaving."
Indian Irish goodbye.
Yeah,
Sounds like an Italian Irish goodbye. Italians, right? They'll say hello to everybody, kiss everybody.
I'm not gonna kiss and hug everybody,
I
and
did it-
then you kiss grandma, and then you gotta go around the whole room.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I like the Irish goodbye. Just get the hell out of there.
get out of there. Nobody's gonna miss you, right?
What was I? Linda Marcus Smith is watching, and
Oh,
she's
Linda.
Linda, how are you feeling, babe?
yeah, she's not feeling well. So
Yeah.
we all hope you feel better. And we're thinking of you.
She's always been very supportive of Laughter
Oh,
Saves
yes.
Lives and asking me how she can help and can we do this and can we do that. We never really got together or anything, but she's a sweetheart.
She is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually on our group page, the Three's Company Radio Show page, is a great little story that the news had done on her about her story and how she got into comedy and how she's a vet. And,
She's a vet.
wanted to, wanted to find laughter to actually save her life.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
and
very, it's a therapeutic.
It is.
Definitely
It is.
therapeutic.
It is. I mean, Mick Thomas calls his podcast cheaper than therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Cheaper than
true.
therapy is how he
Therapy.
would. But yeah, because that's why we're all here, I think.
The first time I laughed after 9/11, I think it was one of the first times where you went, oh, that felt great.
Yeah.
But should I be doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, they were giving out all different kinds of stuff to first responders. People were sending stuff from all over the country.
Yeah.
For cops, firemen, EMS, So they actually hired somebody to say, give this out fairly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went down there one day, and the lady said, hey, guys, I got some winter hats. Going, oh, that's great. She goes, they're in the color and shape of fruit, like bright orange, a banana, So the captain looks at us and goes, hey, guys, don't touch those friggin' hats. You don't need those hats. Cap, what are we going to do with those hats?
Have
Somebody distracts him. The next run off the rig that we were able to, not a fire, but like a little, everybody had on a different hat, an orange, a banana. And he got so pissed initially. And then he said, what are you guys doing? Like the guy with the orange goes, aren't you glad we took these hats? And we just started cracking up. And it felt so good.
Yeah.
And that's when shortly after I said, that's how I'm going to remember my guys.
Yeah.
By making people laugh.
Exactly.
And we're going to Florida. Can I plug the Florida shows?
Yeah.
We're going
Florida is far away from here, so
Yes.
there's no competition between Florida and anything that's going on Long
We're
Island.
doing
Go ahead.
3 shows in Florida, one specifically for Laughter Saves Lives in a community where the FDNY retirees meet. It's a VFW hall.
Okay.
So the VFW is selling tickets, the retirees are selling tickets, I said the whole, and this other woman. So we sold out already at that show.
Nice.
Not that it's a whole, we sold out. It's 125 people, but we sold out. And then we're going from Jensen Beach to Port St. Lucie where the Mets are going. We're going to some spring training, a spring training game.
Cool.
We're doing a show there. Thank you, PGA Village. Hilton Garden Inn donated 16 rooms. Free rooms to Laughter Saves Lives.
Wow.
16. We gave back a few because we didn't need all of those. We have John Santos coming out there with me.
Oh, I love John.
He has his Met undies, Met socks, Met shirt, Met hat. You know John.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
is
yeah.
Mets. John's coming. My son's coming. John Salerno from Texas is coming out. He's a retired NYPD. And we hired Steve Netta, a local comic. And then we're going to Melbourne to do a theater. We still need some tickets sold on that show. If you know any family out there, they're not expensive. 20. I'll give you a discount code. Come on out.
Tell us how they can find you on the internet.
LaughterSavesLives.org is where you can find our website. You can find me on YouTube just by putting John LaRocchia or Laughter Saves Lives or Johnny Plugs.
And that's LAROCCHIA.
I love you. You spelled it right.
John
And I pronounced it right.
LaRocchia.
So the two
Nobody
of us,
spells
There
it
we
right.
go.
What a team we
There
make.
go.
Somebody called the other day from some insurance company, John LaRocchia. I go, what? You're not going to sell me anything if you call me LaRocchia.
I'm going to try.
I noticing a pronunciation. Do I still have time, or am I?
Oh, no, we have time.
Okay.
I didn't want to forget.
Yeah, my
I
watch broke. I don't know what
auditioned
time
for
it
a
is.
Prilosec commercial. Prilosec, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Prilosec. So they wanted a fireman and they wanted a Spanish female. They ultimately hired a Spanish female firefighter. They only hired one person instead of two.
Cut the budget.
Yeah. But so we go in, and if you haven't been on a commercial audition, they put up on the big computer screen sometimes, and you have to read the copy.
Wait, remind me what Prilosec does again?
I don't remember.
Isn't it
for
like
Is it
your
indigestion?
Yeah, I
okay,
think it's
like
indigestion.
Okay,
I think
all right, okay.
So there was a few firefighters in the room, and the guy next to me says, Prolozec, and he couldn't pronounce it. I go, bro, if you can't pronounce the product,
Yeah,
you
you're
better
done.
leave now. Don't even stay, you know. But they're a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing some more of those.
That's
it's a lot of
cool.
fun.
Yeah, you weren't you at your gala? You were showing. Is that the commercial you were talking about? That
No, that's a commercial. I'll plug my son's company, Actual Horse Comedy, named after when they were in college and they had a show. And they wrote a skit with a horse in it, and somebody said, "You're going to get an actual horse," and they did. They found the horse up there. They did. So he puts together these sketches. I call them skits, and he's like, "Dad, you sound so freaking old." Sketches.
Shorts, Dad.
Yes,
Short
and
films.
hopefully we'll have you guys in one day. They're so much fun to
yeah.
make. They are so much fun. They're good for your acting reel commercial. We've got, and they do beautiful writing, and editing and production is top notch. And you could ask, Pat Marone's been in a ton of them, more than me. I'm the son, and Pat gets top billing.
Did your kids do when Pat Marone was a gangster and then it was cannolis in the?
No, that wasn't Pat.
Because that was a great little short.
That was
somebody
good.
named Butch.
All right, what do you got? You're on the air.
Butch.
Yes.
Can we help you?
You can't plug any Long Island shows if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, no.
No, I just wanted to tell you I'm thoroughly enjoying the show.
Oh, is it
thank
because Tony's
you.
not here, or is it because John is here?
Are you looking at me at all, or is it because the two ladies are on?
You're on the show?
Thanks.
So, Butch Seltzer, do you have anything funny? Because we have a few minutes here, and I only accept jokes on this line.
Oh, she's tough.
I have nothing funny.
Butch-
I get paid to run the show.
Butch is the national tour manager for Laughter Saves Lives Foundation in comedy.
Wow. All right. So you do have a say in this matter, then.
He does. He does a lot of good work for us, and he's a good man out of New Jersey.
Out of Jersey.
All
Mutual
right.
Admiration Society. Great job. Love your show. I'm so happy you got John on tonight. Great job.
We were
Well,
very
thank
lucky.
you. Thank you. Friend us and find us on the interwebs, and we will harass you.
We have a Three's Company fan page.
Yes,
and everybody
Jordan.
who's watching, could you please like and share the page?
Yes.
Because
Three's
there's-
Company Radio
Immediately.
Show
Right now, press the
2.
share
Do
button.
it right
Do
now.
it.
Butch,
Yeah.
do
It
it.
helps us.
We're at,
I'm gonna do it. Maybe they could come on our show one night.
that would be great.
That would be
Definitely.
like, yes, absolutely.
Say the word. And you guys are obviously what, Tuesday nights?
We do every other week now.
Oh, okay.
We
So
do every
then
other week.
It's not even a conflict of interest.
No, we'll have you on in.
It's done.
Who do we have coming up? We have
there.
who's co-hosting next time? Allie was on. You know Allie.
Allie Walker?
Allie Walker
Yes,
was on. She was
yes.
in one of my son's sketches.
Okay,
She did a great
cool.
job. She played a
Great.
cop.
Nice.
I've been running into Allie a lot.
Yeah,
she
she's-
She comes to Coasters. She's I see her a lot. So I've seen her in Governors. She was in the Brokerage. I saw her at
All over
on the
the
main
place.
stage at Governors. So yeah, she
Maybe there's
Main
more than one
stage
Allie
at
Walker.
Governors. There
Maybe
you
more
go,
than one.
Allie Walker.
Well, Butch, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah.
No problem, and we'll have to make this happen in the next few weeks.
Yes.
Absolutely.
definitely.
Thanks,
Great.
Butch.
Be
guys.
good.
Keep it going. Love it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Butch is going to be producing my show because I need help. So he's going to start producing it.
Awesome.
And lastly, I'm going back and forth with governors over the last few weeks, and we're gonna make some kind of announcement. I want to make a big deal about it. Laughter Saves Lives Responders Tour. It's a new tour I'm working on. Cops, firemen, military comics, EMS, delivering a show Rat Pack style. So I'll MC and headline. So I'm going to MC, but as the act comes up, we're going to have banter for a few seconds, and then they're
Okay.
going to do the stand-up.
Cool.
We're going to do probably our first Long Island show at Governors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Governors
excited.
will love
Stay
to have
tuned,
you.
guys, because that sounds awesome.
I hope so. I've been going back and forth with Jimmy, and we're meeting next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
and that's
excited.
going to
Keep us
sell
informed.
out. I mean, between cops and
it's gonna be a
vets
fundraiser.
and
Yeah.
firefighters and their families,
Yeah.
they're going to sell out in like minutes.
We're going to have Steve Oliver probably on it, Frank Fiala, John
Oh,
Consoli, Megan Friend did some volunteer EMS work, so it's going to
Oh,
be
cool.
fun night.
Cool. That's
What
gonna
about
be
John Santo?
John Santo, he may be on, yes.
He's never rescued anybody.
Yes.
He's one of my. He does his Trump impersonation, so I'm a little obsessed.
Don't get him
with
on the air. Don't talk to him about airplanes. Don't talk to him about airplanes. It'll be 2 hours later.
yeah, the cabin pressure.
There you go.
Yeah.
He performed at my wedding. It's all good. We're great friends.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I told
that's-
jokes at a comedy show at my wedding.
Oh, wow. That's so
And
cool.
he was
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a film of that? I would love.
No,
to
my husband took a picture of me that day in my wedding dress, but not telling jokes. He took a
Aw.
picture of me vacuuming in my wedding dress. So I have
Oh,
that.
that's a cool picture.
We were just talking about how nowadays everything could be filmed and saved, and your
Yeah.
wedding, you didn't
I
have
wasn't
it on
gonna
film.
take it off. I only have one day to wear it, and I had to vacuum. I had guests coming over.
But I mean, like at your wedding reception, nobody filmed the reception.
No,
Really?
my friends are assholes.
Like,
I
not
played-
one person took out
I
a phone.
played stickball the morning of my wedding. I had the whole
There
wedding
you go.
party and my dad.
Oh, that's fun.
We played stickball. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I could go for some stickball right now.
Let's do
honestly.
it. I love stickball. I haven't played in a while.
Oh, I played softball with you.
That's right.
Yeah, that was so
was fun. That was fun.
That was John Patera.
East.
I think.
Yes, John Patera put that together.
put that together. It was all a bunch of comics playing softball, if you could imagine that.
There were some good players there.
Oh yeah,
There were some pretty good
and
players.
I think I was me and Emily Santosis were the only women,
Right.
and I sucked. Emily was good,
Right. I agree. I agree.
but you were really good.
No, I was not. After I said you sucked, you're going to say I was really good. I used to play back in
You
the
were
day.
really good.
I was a high school baseball player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play tennis, so softball's not my thing.
I love tennis. You still play tennis?
I haven't played in a while. But
I'm looking
my
for a
friend
partner.
My friend Esther's a
Esther. I know.
professional.
I was going to
Esther.
play with Esther 2 weeks ago.
Esther will kick
She'll
your
she'll
ass.
kick your butt, man.
You know what? I like that.
You'll have fun.
Yeah, I
She
like the
teaches.
challenge.
She teaches. She taught Howard Stern's kids private lessons. I mean, she had
Did
Jill
she? I
from The
didn't know that.
Housewives. You know, so
I was just on Facebook with Esther today.
yeah, I love
This,
Esther.
I was this. That's how us old
Doing
people
one of
say it.
these.
That's how us old people say it.
I was doing one of these to her.
I'm 60, by the way. Can you believe I'm 60?
No,
You don't look
no.
60.
I say that only because I hope you say that.
Well,
don't
no,
look-
it's
You
true.
don't look it.
It's true.
But you know what? I don't want to be the grandpa that's sitting in the chair watching. So I go to the gym a few times a week. I do the Dopey Fitbit competitions. I'm always walking.
That's good.
Because I want to try to stay, young as long as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, man.
I think if you like what you do, that also helps keep you young.
Yes.
And you definitely have a passion for what you do.
Yes, now I do, yes.
Yeah.
I had a passion about being a fireman, but I'm more passionate about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell that you love it.
And I love my stand-up, and I want to do more. I mean, I've been doing stand-up a long time. I was just about headlining 9/11, and after 9/11, I dropped off.
Yep.
But I'm having more fun doing stand-up now than I ever have. No matter where I do it. The way I look at it is this could be my last show. I'm going to have fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I do
There-
it- I do it
5
for
people,
fun.
500 people,
Yeah. It's
doesn't matter.
everybody does it for all different reasons.
Yeah.
And, to each his own. I do it for fun. You do it for fun. Other people.
I produce shows for money.
Yeah.
For my family, I got to make some money. So I produce a lot of shows, but yes, we do it for fun, and it is fun.
Yeah. So that's laughtersaveslives.org, guys.
Yes.
Maybe we'll
Check
put that on
out.
our
Yeah,
Three's
I'll
Company page.
Thank you, man.
put
Sally
everything
O'Neill
on
is
the,
watching. Love you,
on the
Sally.
group page. Hey, Sally.
Hey, Sally.
But we got MJ coming in here with punk rap the next show.
Yeah, the
on
next show is
Govs
already
Radio.
getting ready to
So
stay tuned
we have to
for
wrap
them.
it up. Thank you, John, for
thank you,
bringing
John.
us gifts.
Oh my God,
Bonnie,
look,
thank you for
John-
giving me chocolate.
John got me more
My
stuff
pleasure.
So
for
much
Valentine's
love.
Day than
So
my
much love.
ex-husband did.
So
on
much
any
love on this
Valentine's
episode,
Day,
guys.
He used to get me a card.
Now I have to get my wife's stuff. She saw all of this.
You better.
Aw. All right. Well, thank you again, John. We had
Pleasure.
a really great time.
Thank you for
I don't
having
know who
me.
the guest is next week. Do you?
It's Stevie GB.
Stevie G.
Stevie
And
G.
we'll have Tony back, so it'll be the four of us. Once again, comment, call. We probably
Feel
won't
better,
pick.
Tony. Feel better.
Yeah, Tony, feel better.
I think Tony's not sick. I think he's doing a show.
I think he's playing.
Laugh
it.
better.
He's
What?
acting. Whatever.
He's acting sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Whatever.
thank you to the viewers for your stories, for listening to us, for commenting to each other, and we'll be back next Wednesday at the same time, 7:30 to 8:30. Hope you can tune in again.
Good
Love
night.
you guys.
Bye,
Get home
everybody.
safe. Bye.
We are ending.